In today's presentation, we want to give you a game plan for sponsoring and placement. A game plan that will help you effectively grow your Synergy business, leading to higher basic commissions, mega matches, and leadership bonuses. This game plan is also designed to help new distributors as well as existing distributors have a common system that will complement everyone's efforts to sponsor and properly place people in your downline. So where should we begin? Well, the best place to begin is with the basics. To make this easier for you to understand, we would suggest getting out an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper and either a pen or pencil. The first thing we want you to do is at the top of your paper, about 1 inch down and centered between your left and right edges, is to draw a circle the size of a quarter. Inside this circle, write the word U, Y-O-U. Now to the left of this circle, about 1 inch over and 1 inch down, draw another circle the size of a quarter. Inside this circle, we want you to write left side. Now to the right of the center circle, about 1 inch over and 1 inch down, draw another circle the size of a quarter. Inside this circle, we want you to write right side. To help you visually, underneath your center circle, draw a line straight down to the bottom edge of your paper, effectively dividing your paper into two sides, a left side and a right side. Whether you join Synergy Worldwide with 1 tracking center or 3 tracking centers, and no matter how large your Synergy organization grows over time, this simple drawing represents your Synergy business. You're in the top circle, and everyone you sponsor and everyone they sponsor will either be in your left circle or your right circle. Now there are some important things to remember. First, there is no cap to the depth of your organization. Either side or both sides can grow as deep as possible based on people continuing to sponsor. Second, there are no breakaways. In some compensation plans, when those you sponsor reach certain levels, they break away from you and you lose their volume. Not so in Synergy Worldwide. People underneath you can grow as large as possible and they still remain in your Synergy organization, as well as all the volume that is being created. As long as you maintain an active account, you never have to worry about losing your organization. Now let's understand some terminology. Tracking center. Your Synergy organization revolves around you and Tracking Center 1. So inside the circle that you've written the word U, also write TC1 for Tracking Center 1. Organizational volume. As your left and right sides grow with new distributors, they purchase product either for personal use and or to sell to others. This will create organizational volume. Because Synergy operates in 28 different countries with more coming on board all the time, there are multiple monetary systems. To create a common system for everyone, Synergy assigns a commissionable volume to every product. For example, 1 canister of Project Plus is assigned 60 CV or commissionable volume. So whether it's sold in the United States or any other country, that assigned volume would be added to your organizational volume. Depending upon where that distributor is in your organization, that volume would show up on either your left side or your right side. Basic commissions. As your Synergy organization grows and matures through sponsoring new distributors, and as they move product to create organizational volume, the side with the smallest amount of volume will be called your lesser leg or weak leg. Synergy pays up to 10% commissions minus any adjustments they make based on other incentive programs they have going on. For illustration purposes, we're going to use 7% to figure basic commissions. For example, in your drawing, underneath the circle right side, write 1000 CV. Now the common mistake that many distributors make is that they only develop one side of their organization. If you have 1000 CV on your right side and 0 CV on your left side, then no basic commissions can be earned because your left side is your weak leg, and 7% times 0 CV is 0. In today's presentation, we're going to show you how to prevent this from happening. Now, underneath your left side circle, write 500 CV. Let's say you learn how to apply the sponsoring and placement techniques we're going to show you today, and your left side has 500 CV and your right side has 1000 CV. This means your left side is your weak leg, and you would receive a basic commission of $35. 500 CV times 7% equals $35. To receive this basic commission, you would also need to have met the minimum CV or commissionable volume on your Tracking Center 1. Synergy has several options for this, but we're only going to look at 2 of them and recommend one for future growth. In option 1, you would set up a monthly auto ship of at least 100 CV on your Tracking Center 1. In option 2, you would set up a monthly auto ship of at least 150 CV on your Tracking Center 1. When looking at best practices, option 1 would be the minimum and option 2 would be the best option to guarantee that you would qualify for all the various compensation opportunities that Synergy Worldwide offers you. By meeting this qualification, 2 important items happen. First, you qualify to receive basic commissions. Second, you qualify to have your organizational volume in your strong leg banked for you, or what's called banked volume. So let's go back to our drawing. You have 500 CV on your left side and 1000 CV on your right side. You're fully qualified because you have a monthly auto ship set up on your Tracking Center 1 for at least 100 CV. Synergy pays you a basic commission on your weak leg volume of 500 CV. The difference between your weak leg volume and your strong leg volume is 500 CV. 1000 CV on your strong leg minus 500 CV from your weak leg equals 500 CV. Synergy Worldwide will bank this volume so that if your legs flip in the future and your right side becomes your weak leg, Synergy will use this banked volume to pay you additional basic commissions. When we show you our recommended system for sponsoring and placement, we'll come back to this to show you how this banked volume of the compensation plan can benefit you by increasing your basic commission, which also means that your sponsor will also benefit by seeing their mega match on your basic commission also increase. So let's talk about mega matches, for this is where you can really impact your residual income stream from Synergy Worldwide. When you sponsor a new distributor, Synergy Worldwide will reward you with a dollar-for-dollar match on the basic commission of your new distributor as long as you're both properly qualified with auto ship on each of your Tracking Center 1. So let's go back to our 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. Underneath the circle left side, I want you to draw a circle the size of a dime and inside write Sue. Underneath Sue's circle, I want you to draw 2 more circles, one to the left of Sue, and inside this circle write 1000 CV. In the circle to the right of Sue, I want you to write 3000 CV. This means that Sue's left side is her weak leg with 1000 CV. At 7%, Sue would earn a $70 basic commission. If you're Sue's sponsor, then you would earn a mega match on Sue's basic commission, a dollar-for-dollar match, which in this case would be $70. Now Sue could be on either your left side or your right side. It doesn't matter. As long as you're both qualified with the proper auto ship on your Tracking Center 1, then Sue earns a basic commission and you mega match her basic commission dollar for dollar. The more people you personally sponsor, the more people you can potentially earn a mega match on. Sponsor 10 people and you can earn a potential of 10 mega matches. Sponsor 100 people and you can earn a potential of 100 mega matches. So the key to your success is helping those you sponsor be successful, giving them the support they need to help them grow their Synergy business, helping them use the training programs and resource tools we've created and Synergy Worldwide has created to acquire customers and attract business builders. Now, before we show you sponsoring and placement techniques to help maximize the potential for basic commissions and mega matches, let's look at bank volume and why this is important to you and those you sponsor. Again, let's look at Sue, who is on your left side. Both her left and right sides have organizational volume. All of Sue's organizational volume is on your left side. So Sue had 1,000 on her left side and 3,000 CV on her right side for a total of 4,000 CV. Plus you had 500 CV on your left side from other team members. Now your left side has a total of 4,500 CV, and let's say your right side remained at 1,000 CV. Your weak leg is no longer your left side. Your right side has now become your weak leg because it has the smallest amount of organizational volume. At 1,000 CV, your basic commission is $70. However, because you have 500 CV in bank volume on your right side, Synergy will add this amount to your 1,000 CV and pay your basic commission on 1,500 CV instead of 1,000 CV. This means your basic commission would be $105 instead of $70. And your sponsor would mega match this $105 instead of mega matching $70. Everyone benefits from the bank volume. Additionally, you just created 3,000 CV in bank volume on your left side. This amount was 4,500 CV minus 1,500 CV from your right side, which equals 3,000 CV. This bank volume will be available to you for basic commissions if you grow your right side to be larger than your left side. This is why having a sponsoring and placement technique is so important. It will help you maximize the potential to take full advantage of bank volume and help both your left and right sides grow effectively, leading to other residual income streams that Synergy Worldwide offers you. So let's spend some time looking at sponsoring and placement techniques that will help you and your downline maximize the potential for basic commissions and mega matches while taking full advantage of bank volume. Our first suggestion is that you set a goal to personally sponsor 3 people into your Synergy business. Now the question is where to place them in your organization. We would suggest the following rule of thumb. Sponsor your first person on the outside of your weak leg. Sponsor your second person on the outside of your strong leg. Sponsor your third person on the outside of your weak leg. For new distributors who don't have any weak or strong legs when they first join, we would suggest the following placement technique. Sponsor your first person on your outside left. Sponsor your second person on your outside right. Sponsor your third person on the outside of your weak leg. Then follow the guideline of sponsoring your first person on the outside of your weak leg, sponsoring your second person on the outside of your strong leg, sponsoring your third person on the outside of your weak leg. So let's put some numbers to this so that you can see how this helps you. Here's you and your tracking center 1, and you're fully qualified with an auto ship of 150 CV. The first person you sponsor is Joe, and he joins with an activation order of 150 CV. You would place Joe on the outside of your left leg, and he would represent 150 CV of organizational volume. The second person you sponsor is Fred. He joins with an activation order of 300 CV. You would place Fred on the outside of your right leg, and he would represent 300 CV of organizational volume. The third person you sponsor is Wilma, and she joins with an activation order of 300 CV. Since your left leg is your weak leg, you would place Wilma on the outside of your weak leg, or in this case the outside of your left leg. Now your left leg has 450 CV, and it's now your strong leg. The month ends and Synergy pays you your basic commission on your weak leg, which in this case is your right side since it has 300 CV. 7% of 300 CV is $21 in basic commission, which your sponsor would mega match. And the difference between 450 CV on your left side and 300 CV on your right side is 150 CV, which Synergy holds as bank volume for potential basic commissions in the future. Now, our goal is to always work at sponsoring 3 people. So the next month, let's say that everyone you originally sponsored is on the AutoShip program for 150 CV. Joe's not active, but Wilma is sponsoring people, and Fred is sponsoring people, and you're sponsoring people. If everyone is working towards the same goal of sponsoring 3 people per month, then let's see how your efforts, combined with Wilma and Fred, all work together. Let's say that you sponsor Barney first. Since your right side has 150 CV and your left side has 300 CV, you would sponsor Barney on the outside of your right leg. Barney comes in with an activation order of 300 CV. This makes your right side your strong leg now at 450 CV. It also makes the right side of Fred his strong leg. Fred sponsors Bob. Where is Fred going to sponsor Bob? On the outside of Fred's weak leg, which at this time is his left leg. Bob comes in with an activation order of 300 CV. Now your right side has grown to 750 CV volume, and it's still your strong leg. You're ready to sponsor your second person for the month. Her name is Jean, and she comes in with an activation order of 300 CV. Where should you place Jean? According to our placement technique, the second person you sponsor goes on the outside of your strong leg. Thus you would sponsor Jean on the outside of your right or strong leg. This would increase your right side to 1,050 in organizational volume. You're on a roll, and Judy is ready to join you in Synergy Worldwide. Judy is the third person that you're sponsoring, and so you're going to place Judy on the outside of your weak leg. At this point, it would be outside of your left leg underneath Wilma. Now, Wilma kicks into gear, and she sponsors 3 people in a row, Tom, David, and Philip, and they all come in with an activation order of 150 CV of volume. Using our placement guideline of sponsoring your first person on the outside of your weak leg, sponsoring your second person on the outside of your strong leg, sponsoring your third person on the outside of your weak leg, Wilma would sponsor Tom on the outside of her right or weak leg. Wilma would sponsor David on the outside of her left or strong leg, and Wilma would sponsor Philip on the outside of her right or weak leg. And Fred also continues to sponsor. He wants to meet the goal of sponsoring 3 people per month, and so he has 2 more people he brings into the business, and they each come in with activation orders of 300 CV. The second person Fred sponsors is Carol, and she'll go on the outside of his strong leg, which for now is his right leg. The third person Fred sponsors is Kathy, so she'll go on the outside of his weak leg, which for now is his left leg. We come to the end of the month, and your right leg is now your strong leg with 1,650 CV, and your left leg has 1,050 CV. Plus you had bank volume on your left side of 150 CV. So Synergy Worldwide will pay you a basic commission on 1,200 CV instead of on 1,050 CV. Thus, at 7%, your basic commission is $84, which your sponsor mega matches. Plus, you just created 450 CV of bank volume on your right side, which if your left side becomes your strong side next month, you'll be able to tap into for additional basic commissions, which also increases your sponsor's mega match. Now, you sponsored Joe, Fred, and Wilma. Joe didn't do anything for the month and has a weak leg with 0 CV. No basic commissions. Wilma has 300 CV on her weak leg or right leg, so she earns a basic commission of $21, which you mega match. Fred has 600 CV in his weak leg, which is his left leg, and he earns $42 in basic commissions, which you mega match. In addition to your basic commission of $84, you earned an additional $63 in mega matches. Because of this placement guideline of sponsoring your first person on the outside of your weak leg, sponsoring your second person on the outside of your strong leg, sponsoring your third person on the outside of your weak leg, you've helped those underneath you create additional organizational volume. This helps increase their basic commissions, which you mega match. As they apply the same sponsoring and placement guidelines, they'll be doing the same for those underneath them. Everyone wins, and you help maximize the potential for basic commissions, mega matches on those you've sponsored, and you've positioned yourself and those underneath you to harness the potential of bank volume to increase basic commissions, which can increase a person's mega matches on those they personally sponsored. This is powerful. As your organization grows and develops, it can get complicated. So just remember the following keys. You're always looking to sponsor 3 people, ideally every month, but always work with the number 3. When you're ready to sponsor someone, check your volumes and follow these placement guidelines. Sponsoring your first person on the outside of your weak leg, sponsoring your second person on the outside of your strong leg, sponsoring your third person on the outside of your weak leg. Now, let's say you've been in Synergy Worldwide and you have a strong leg that would be hard to flip. Maybe it has 50,000 CV or more in organizational volume each month. We would recommend finding someone you've sponsored on your weak leg. Make sure they're willing to go to work and be active in Synergy Worldwide, that they're set up on a monthly autoship program. Then partner with them to help them grow their Synergy business. Work together to sponsor 3 people using the following guidelines. Sponsoring your first person on the outside of their weak leg, sponsoring your second person on the outside of their strong leg, sponsoring your third person on the outside of their weak leg. What this will do is help that person you've personally sponsored grow faster, earn a higher basic commission, which you mega match, and help them maximize their bank volume. By helping them to maximize their bank volume, you increase their basic commissions, which increases your mega match off of their basic commissions. It's a win-win partnership, which also helps you grow your weak leg faster. Now, when we do this presentation live, we usually get the following questions. I'm new to Synergy Worldwide. Do I have a downline? What should I do if my sponsor is not actively helping me build my Synergy business? If I'm going to invest in a person that I've sponsored in my weak leg, what should I require of them? Should I always follow this sponsoring and placement technique? And why hasn't this been shared before? Let's take each of these questions one at a time. I'm new to Synergy Worldwide. Do I have a downline? If you're new to Synergy Worldwide, then most likely you do not have a downline. Use our recommendation of working to sponsor 3 people per month. Sponsor your first person on your outside left, sponsor your second person on your outside right, sponsor your third person on the outside of your weak leg. Then for the next 3 people you sponsor, follow the guidelines of sponsoring your first person on the outside of your weak leg, sponsoring your second person on the outside of your strong leg, sponsoring your third person on the outside of your weak leg. If Synergy distributors above you are doing the same sponsoring and placement technique, then you may see people added to your Synergy organization that will help you grow your organizational volume, leading to higher basic commissions and mega matches on those you've personally sponsored. What should I do if my sponsor is not actively helping me build my Synergy business? A couple of things. First, get over it. While it would be ideal to have a sponsor actively engaged in helping you build your Synergy business, the bottom line is you need to acquire customers and attract business builders. Second, go upline until you find someone that is benefiting from your efforts. Try to work with that person so that the 2 of you can grow faster. Third, make sure you're a good sponsor to everyone you bring into Synergy Worldwide. You become the ideal sponsor that you wish you had. Fourth, Find someone in your organization, either upline or downline, that you can partner with to help each other stay focused on effectively growing your synergy businesses. If I'm going to invest in a person that I've sponsored in my weak leg, what should I require of them? We would suggest 3 basic requirements. First, they need to be on an auto-ship program for a minimum of 100 CV, but preferably 150 CV. Second, help them develop a marketing strategy. One of the benefits of our Team 6 training program is that we help synergy distributors improve their N factor or skill level and expose them to some outstanding marketing tools and resources. Encourage this person to take the Team 6 training program, which is an 8-week course that starts at the beginning of every month. Third, require them to use the weekly tracker for success. This is an assessment tool we've developed that helps people stay focused on the activities that will actually grow their synergy business. We have a separate recorded presentation on this fantastic tool. Should I always follow the sponsoring and placement technique? That's up to you. While there may be a few times that you might do something different, we believe this sponsoring and placement technique will serve you well most of the time. And if you teach it down through your organization, then everyone will benefit by sponsoring and placing people that will help strengthen everyone no matter where they're at in your organization. Why hasn't this been shared before? It has, it's just not been highlighted. Now that it has, go make good use of it. Thank you for watching this recorded presentation. If you have questions about this information, then please contact either Gene LaValle or myself. We're part of the Global Health Makeover team, and our goal is to help everyone in Synergy worldwide be more successful. As you bring Synergy Worldwide and its flagship product, Project Plus, to the market, everyone benefits.